All right, so what you guys are going to do is you're going to be creating a clay face. You're actually going to put it on a cylinder, kind of like we did with the tikis. So you're going to create a cylinder cup. You could make it a mug if you really want to. And on the outside, you're going to be creating a face. And so we're going to pretend like this slab that I have is the outside of your mug. It's just a little easier for you to see it this way. All right? So the first thing that you want to do is start drawing lines as to where is the center of your face, where the eyes are going to be, the bottom of the nose. So if you take a ruler, you can kind of press down right in the center to create a line that divides it in half. All right? You're going to do the same thing here. You want to create a line that is about halfway down, and that's going to be where your eyes are at. Then you're going to take this space and divide it in half again. So put another line. So right now, this shows where the eyes are and where the bottom of the nose is going to be. Now this space is left for where the chin goes and where your lips are going to be. You don't divide it in half quite, but you move it up a little bit because your lips are a little closer to your nose, and you're going to create that line. So right now, we're just kind of making sure that our proportions are correct before you begin. Now, the easiest way to go about doing this is to just kind of break off bits of clay, and you're going to be adding them in certain areas. So the first thing that we want to do is the eyebrow line, because our brow bone comes out a little further than the rest of our face. So if you want to take just kind of a piece of clay, and we're going to use fresh clay for this, and you just want to kind of roll out a coil. It doesn't have to look good right now. We're just going to kind of put some stuff on here. Now keep in mind, this is the brow bone, all right? And you do want a pretty thick piece of clay because you're going to be smoothing this stuff in, all right? So if your eyeball is here, here's where your brow bone is, all right? So about the same. Then you want to make something for the nose. Now, we're thinking about the bridge of the nose starts right between the eyes and it comes all the way down. So what you're going to do is just kind of take a piece of clay, kind of add it in here, and you're not even really smoothing it down yet, all right? And I know that the bottom part of the nose is a little bit bigger, so we can add a little bit more clay. And you can always add more and more clay, all right, to it, as long as you're using fresh clay. Now, we also have cheekbones. So we've got our brow bone, we've got our cheekbones. So you're going to do the same thing for your cheekbones that you did for your brow. So you're going to kind of add them in down here, all right? And again, it looks really thick right now, but we're going to be smoothing all this out. All right? And now you're ready for your lips and your chin. So let's do that chin first. Some people have chins that sort of stick out a little bit more. And then the lips, you're going to do 2 coils. The top lip is going to have its own coil. So that'll be about right here. And your bottom lip will have its own coil as well. All right? Now, before you begin, you're also going to want to think about the expression that you want on the face. You know, do you just want somebody who's staring blankly ahead, no expression? Do you want them happy? Do you want them sad? You know, kind of go from there. But at this point, you're going to use your thumbs, or you can use this tool here, and you're going to begin smoothing everything down to start forming kind of the contours of the face, all right? And we'll probably be adding some more clay in up here so that you don't make yours kind of look like Frankenstein. But you want to completely smooth this down. All right, so as you can tell, I'm already starting to kind of form the cheekbones, the brow bone, and kind of get all of this blended in. And you're just going to keep pushing it around until you feel like it looks really good. So for me, I needed to sort of press back the cheekbones a little bit because they were protruding a bit too much. Same with the brow bones. I had to make the bridge of the nose a little bit more narrow, you know, and you will be shaping it a bit more from this, all right? Now you can move on to the mouth. I kind of moved it down so I could get the nose, but now what I'm going to do is sort of focus on this bottom part, all right? So I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did up there. All right, so again, you can see that everything's still a little rough. You know, if I weren't presenting right now, I would be kind of spending a lot more time making that mouth look like I wanted to, maybe giving it a bit more of an expression. But what I do notice is that it looks like the brow bone sticks out a little bit too far, meaning I need a little bit more for the forehead. So again, if you just take some clay, kind of add it on, you can start forming that rounded part of your forehead a bit more. Of course, blend it in. So now it looks a little bit more rounded up there, all right? And also think about the age of the person you want to do too. If you want to do somebody who's a little bit more wrinkly, the forehead's going to be wrinkled. And then the last thing that you want to do, just to sort of rough in your person, is the ears, all right? Now, on here, it's a little bit harder for me to show, but on your cylinder, it'll be a bit easier because if you think about it, the ears don't stick out like my hands do. They actually kind of go back towards the head. So if I wanted to, you know, put an ear on here, right? And by the way, the ears sort of line up with the brow bone and the bottom of your nose. So the ear is going to be here and here, and in fact, if you want to put little marks, that'll sort of help you understand where the ears go. But you can create and form your own ear. And I would suggest doing both at the same time. That way you can compare them side by side. And then, so like right now, that's sticking straight out. All right? But this is kind of more how the ear would actually go. It would be, if I kind of, you know, blend that part in, it would be more back. So it'll be up against your cylinder, all right? And then you could take your time to actually form the ear. You know, you may even want to look at a picture to sort of figure out how that ear should start to be formed, all right? But take a look at some pictures and figure that one out, okay? And then the last thing is going to be your actual eyes. What I would suggest is create two sort of ovals of clay, so similar to an oval right there, and then you can put this in there, and then you start to kind of attach it just like you did everything else. Now, the last thing you want to do so that your guy or girl does not look like their eye is like wide open in surprise is you're going to take a tiny piece of clay like this and you're going to pinch it really thin. All right? And you're going to put it over the bottom and sort of blend that in because we want it to look like that thin, fine piece of skin that you have right under your eye, and it'll help create some depth. So right now I'm just kind of making sure that we could see that pretty good. All right, and if I zoom in, I'm going to do this. You can kind of see it a little bit more. You can see right along here is where I added in that little piece. All right? So hopefully this is giving you guys a good idea of, you know, how you can create your